Welcome to ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Eric Novak of the Wrestling Republic, and I am here with the loose ledge himself, Adam Brooks.
Eric, what's up, brother? Thank you for once again having me on the show. We've been trying to do this for a while, but time zones and everything have sort of made things difficult. But hey, I'm in the States. I'm in your country, so things have worked out a bit easier.
Yeah, thank God, man. Thank God you're back in the States, and now we get to see you everywhere now, which is going to be a lot of fun. So, let's start off with, recently, you just had a match with Ken Broadway at Invictus. I was there for that one. That's going to be on IWTV in a few days. It's going to be able for everyone to stream. How was it just back in wrestling with, these new people that you've never gotten in the ring with? How is that like?
I love it, man. Being in Australia for all these years, and I've worked with numerous guys in Australia, numerous times, and that's fine. There's a crop of extremely talented people in Australia, but to grow and to learn and to get better, you've got to be able to work with, people from all over the world. So being back here in the States and working with all these different people and even working with people from different countries, different languages, that's been awesome as well. Working with guys like Takeshita, even Vikingo, language barriers and stuff. It's awesome. Just all these new experiences. It only helps me hopefully grow and be a better performer.
So now that you're in the States, and now that you do want to face these new people, and, like I said, it makes you better, what are a few names that you want to put down for 2023, now that we're officially in 2023?
Yeah, I feel I need rematches against both of those guys, Takeshita and Vikingo. They are over here at Deadlock Pro. Takeshita beat me, and then Vikingo came to Australia, and, he beat me in Australia. But both those matches, they got a bit of buzz online, so I'd like to get a rematch there. I feel that I'm certainly due for another match with Will Ospreay. It's been what, about 4 or 5 years now. Obviously, we've both grown as wrestlers, so that's another one I need to tick off. And then, man, just guys that are here on the indies that seem to be doing really well. Guys like Alex Shelley. I grew up watching Alex Shelley. I would love to get in the ring and work with Alex Shelley. Man, Sami Callihan. I've never wrestled with him. He's another guy that I grew up watching and really, trying to mold a lot of my current style around, like Sami Callihan. Josh Alexander again. He's fantastic. There's a lot of guys, man. That's just a few off the top of my head right now. Mm-hmm. Blake Christian, Alex Zane. They're two guys I feel I could get in there and do something really cool with. So, man, we'll just sort of just see what happens, dude.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you did when you were in the States last time. You wrestled for so many promotions, and now everyone wants to see you back there. So what were a few promotions that you really enjoyed and you want to go back working with?
Yeah, well, obviously, Deadlock Pro out in North Carolina, I feel that they're building something really, really special. To me, it feels like sort of early ROH. Mm-hmm. It's just they're getting these hungry guys that you don't really see on, your GCWs and your PWGs and stuff. It's just these hungry guys that not many people know, and they're just giving them the ball and letting them run with it. And I feel that they're putting out some really good shows, man. And the atmosphere there is so sick. Last time I was here, I was at West Coast Pro. That was another really cool place that I got to experience. I'd love to go back there. Defy was there. I was there last time. Another really awesome place. That Washington Hall.
Aren't you still owed a title match in Defy?
I am. Yes.
See, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, we'll see. Hopefully I get that title match now that I'm back. Yeah, that's just a few of the places I can think off the top of my head. But one that I didn't get a chance to tick off my list last time was Prestige Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, February 17th, I'll be debuting at Prestige. So
that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to getting there and hopefully turning some heads and making an impact there,
Mm-hmm. Do you know who your opponent is, or is that going to be something they're going to announce later?
No, they've announced it. It's I believe this fella is one of the head trainers at the Dragon Gate School in Japan.
Oh.
KZY.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, we'll see what happens. It's another one of those language barrier experiences. Different country, different style. So we'll see, man.
Yeah. So, there's so many promotions that are, coming out of the woodwork after years of hiatus. You have the brand new ROH. You were signed with Ring of Honor. There is still a tether there that you deserve to be back in Ring of Honor. They're doing their own shows. It's a little bit of tippy-toe things. They did shows. Soon they're going to probably do televised events and just building up to it. Now that there's multiple opportunities for Impact, NWA, MLW, WWE, where would you want to be at, or where would you want to see yourself this year?
I'd be happy anywhere that's willing to give me an opportunity. To me, big stages and millions of dollars and all of that stuff, yeah, man, like that's cool and stuff. But the main thing to me is I want to be somewhere where I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters to me. So, whether it's WWE or AEW, Impact, MLW, NWA, whoever's willing to give me an opportunity and, hopefully I end up happy there, that's all that matters to me. I almost got that opportunity at ROH, I finally thought, man, yes, like we've achieved to what we've set out to do. And, unfortunately it was just a timing thing, the world went nuts. So yeah, just anywhere willing to give me an opportunity that's kind of all I want right now. Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with any of the products? Have you been watching, all these companies? And if you have, what have you been enjoying? What have been some things that you really were like, okay, I'm liking what they're doing here? Like, every company has their own things that are good and that are bad. What have you been enjoying from most companies?
So, yeah, of course. There are good and bad everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm enjoying NXT, some of the good stuff that they put out. Obviously, I have friends there. But I feel that they're doing some good stuff. I actually really, really enjoyed the ROH pay-per-view that just went by.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really good show. And then I've been checking out some NWA as well recently. I just wanted to look at something completely different. And sort of the fact that they have a junior heavyweight championship there, I don't know, kind of just made me look at that going, okay, there's a potential goal there.
Mm-hmm.
If an opportunity arose there. And I feel it's just something completely different to the other stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
But look, again, man, there's good and there's bad everywhere. All that matters to me is being happy where I am and an opportunity,
True. So, 2023, there are dream matches that, you've already named the people you want to face. Those are rematches. who are a few people you haven't wrestled yet that you want to get in the ring with? You mentioned Shelly, you mentioned Callahan, but let's talk about like some ones that you've been watching that you haven't heard of before. Like Shelly's a veteran, Callahan's been a veteran in the business. Who has been surprising you recently? I know you got in the ring with Nick Wayne at one point. I know you got to tag team with him. You know, there's so many new people like Jordan Oliver. There's so many young Leon Slater from the UK. Who are some people that you've been like really admiring, and you're like, okay, he's young. I want to see what I can do with him.
Well, yeah, I'd love to get in there and do a singles with Nick Wayne. I'm sure he gets this a lot, but he reminds me of a young Will Ospreay. In regards to in-ring, maybe not so much outside the ring. Geez, as far as young fellas, I'm trying to think of some more young fellas that are out there.
Man, everyone in GCW, they're all young as could be. You got Blake Christian, but you never got into Blake Christian, did you?
No, I've never got to work with Blake Christian. I've met him. I think I've met him once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed like a cool dude, and I think me and him could do something cool. And then again, like Alex Zane. Jeez, who's some more young dudes out there, man?
I mean, like I said, Leon Slater from the UK. He's very new. He's wrestling all over Ref Pro right now.
See, is that the one with the Swanton 450?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw that, and I'm like, geez, like, I might as well scrap doing just the basic Swanee now. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, another kid that, you know, I've only seen small glimpses of.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, yeah, sure, it'd be cool to get in there with him. It's hard because I don't really sit down and watch, like, these full indie shows, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'll see little pieces online and stuff, but, yeah, I don't really sit down and watch these full shows, you know? Really, or, you know, if I'm at the shows and I'm on early, I'll try to watch the whole thing when I'm done, but, yeah, there's so many, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. So something I wanted to talk to you about, because it's something that happened very recently that a lot of people actually got a chance to ask you, and it's when you went back home, something happened in your, you know, character development from wherever you were. You shifted from being a good guy to doing some slimeball things. Explain to me how or why you decided to turn your back on a place that, you know, took care of you and you were a star there.
Yeah, well, it's sort of been on my mind for a while to just change things up. I feel that I've been doing the same thing for a while, and it would get, you know, people would enjoy the matches, and it would get all this positive, you know, feedback and stuff. But I was looking at the landscape of everything, and I was just like comparing myself, and I'm going, all right, well, you know, that guy's got trunks and kick pads, and he's athletic, and, you know, he looks good, and his gear looks good, and, you know, but I just felt that I needed to sort of add something or change something. So I kind of discussed it with Buddy, who's obviously a big mentor of mine, and he agreed. He was like, we need to sort of change something here. So I kind of just went the complete opposite to what I'd been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no fancy, over-the-top, expensive gear. No fancy, over-the-top, you know, high spots or any of that. Like, I've tried to cut a lot of that out and change it to this more aggressive, brawler sort of style. And then I'll sprinkle in the odd little fancy little high spot or bullshit, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been like a lot of fun just to think outside the box in a different way. What would this Adam Brooks do? You know, this new aggressive, sort of fed up Adam Brooks do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, like it seems to be getting a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people have sort of said there might be something here, you know, like, and even like Buddy, who is always very hard on my work, which is fine. When he starts kind of saying, no, this was good, this is working, and he's actually like complimenting a lot of the stuff that I'm doing,
mm-hmm.
which I'm not really used to. It's always, okay, this was bad, this was shit, do this better, and that's in a criticism way.
Yeah.
But when he's like putting you over and saying, this was good, nah, this worked, that was your best match you've ever had, it kind of feels like, okay, we might be onto something here. So yeah, it's just flip the switch, do something different, and see what happens, man. You know?
Yeah. Something I wanted to ask you was, since you're back in the States and you want more bookings, you want to wrestle more people, you want to do new things, if you ever got offered a tag team match, who would you pick as a partner? If you had to build up, because right now, one of the most popular things in wrestling is tag team wrestling. One of the biggest matches during the ROH show was the Briscoes versus the FTR. You know, there's tag team wrestling is everywhere. So if that opportunity comes to you where it's like, hey, maybe being a tag team, then there might be a little bit more to it. Who would you add as a tag team partner?
You want unsigned or signed or
whoever you honestly think you have amazing chemistry with. Like, who do you think that you can work with very well, and you guys can do amazing things as a tag team?
Well, look, it would be sweet to tag with Buddy, obviously, because he's a guy that helped mentor me, and we tagged before previously.
Okay.
Before his WWE stuff. Obviously, he's busy doing his thing now. So, from a chemistry standpoint, and from someone who I feel deserves to be on a bigger platform as well,
mm-hmm.
Maybe Slex back home. I mean, we have good chemistry when we compete against each other. He's a good bro of mine outside of the ring, so that chemistry outside of the ring is there. You know, he's a bit bigger and he's more jacked, so let him do all the bloody power stuff and I'll do all the quick, fast-paced stuff, you know. Yeah. Probably, I'd have to say maybe Slex. I think that we could do something pretty cool as, you know, a bit of a junior heavyweight team. Because I think his class is a junior. Doesn't look like it, but his class is one.
Well, you didn't have a lot of history. You guys had a lot of matches together. You guys had a huge storyline together. He was a part of that three-way match, right? Ladder, then it was an Extreme Rules match. That was him and you, right?
Oh, yes, we did 3 stages of hell, yes.
That was by far one of my favorite matches of yours. That was just amazing and insane. You guys had amazing chemistry. I would love to see you guys as a tag team.
Yeah, and considering, you know, that was, you know, in between the whole pandemic and stuff, and he hadn't been in a ring in 11 months because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was his first match in 11 months. So the fact that things were still, you know, flowing well and stuff, yeah, man.
Yeah, what a way to start off wrestling and you know, that kind of caliber of a match. Because that match was insane.
11 months off. All right, go out there, 48 minutes. Yeah, I think we went like 48 minutes.
Yeah, the whole match is on YouTube. Everyone can check it out. I'll even put a link in the bio. Everyone can check out that match. It's amazing. It's insane. So, Let's talk more about what you've been doing as you were gone. You're back in the States, which is great, but what were you doing while you were gone? Other than turning heel, what were you doing to just keep yourself, sane, waiting to come back here?
Just, dude, just focus. Work out, diet, keep wrestling, trying to watch, as much product as I can to keep up with what people are doing. Just kind of be ready for, have gear ready. I had new gear shipped straight here so that it was ready when I got here. Just doing all these sort of productive things to be ready for, to get here. But then, you get here, and then there's certain things you need to do while you're here, like bank cards and American social security numbers and all of that stuff, yeah.
There's multiple places where I'd like to see you, this year. AEW Dark is one of them, I definitely want to see you there. New Japan Strong or New Japan. I know TMDK is back, and I know that, having an Aussie faction would be interesting too. I think that'd be really cool. And even, I think you'd fit in with the United Empire. I feel like they've been doing a lot of good stuff, recently. I feel like you'd fit in perfect with them by being different than everyone else. So it's like, I don't want to close the door on New Japan. I think still, New Japan and there could be something there, in my opinion.
Sure, man. From what I've seen of New Japan, I think I'd fit in well there, and it would be good to learn that style. And I've never wrestled in Japan, but when I wrestled Takeshita, I was like, okay, obviously he's Japanese, he's come from that world. I'm going to try to adapt to sort of his Japanese style.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I kind of just tried to piece everything okay, slow, then accelerate, slow, then accelerate. Even though it was only a 10-minute match and it felt, when you watch it, feels very bang, 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 bang,
Mm-hmm.
I was sort of okay, let's try to make it sort of, this sort of structure, let's keep it chilled and then we'll accelerate. Keep it chilled, then we'll accelerate. If you know what I mean.
No, yeah. How did the conversation go about it? When you guys met to discuss, things to discuss before your match, who was leading? Was it you or was it him during these conversations?
Well, look, I feel it was quite 50-50.
Uh-huh.
I did go into it with a lot of, why don't we do this, blah, 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 blah. And then, it was kind of he just sprinkled his stuff and said, maybe we'll do this here. And it was honestly one of the most easiest matches I've ever put together. I think it took us maybe 10 minutes to legit chuck a match together. I was shocked how easy it was, considering, the language barrier. And his English is very, very good. It's awesome. He's very good. But yeah, dude, I don't know.
It still blows my mind that you had a conversation with him without actually using any English language. His English is good, but when it comes to wrestling, it's not really about the words, about the movement, and it's always amazing to kind of read the other person's mind a little bit, which is kind of insane to me that's how it is. So it's really cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but then when you work with someone that doesn't speak any English at all, that's a little bit tricky. When I wrestled Vikingo, no English at all. So I'm standing there the whole time with my phone in Google Translate, and I'm saying, okay, why don't we do this? And then I show him, and then it translates it to Spanish. And then, oh, yes, CC, and then, yep. So, that was a bit of a challenge, but yeah, dude, we got through it. We got through it.
That's awesome. Well, listen, you have to get used to that because there might be doors for you in Mexico. There might be doors for you everywhere. So it's do you have anything planned anytime soon out of the U.S.?
Yeah, I go to Mexico on the 28th of January.
Oh, so see, get your phone out. Start typing.
Well, see, I don't know if I'm going to have Wi-Fi there.
Start. Take a pencil and a paper. Start.
We'll see what happens, man. We might just have to I don't know, just go out there and see what happens.
Okay, so that's another question I want to ask you. You know, now you're going to Mexico. Where else would you want to go? You know, you're in the States, but you're like out of Australia. So now you get to really go places. So where would you want to wrestle now? You brought up Japan and how you've never been there, and I'm sure it's some place that you definitely want to go to. Where else would you want to go? There's a lot of companies right now that are like taking big name wrestlers and just taking everyone and bringing them there and doing their own shows. So where would you like to wrestle?
What, within the States?
Yeah. Even out of the States.
Okay, well, as far as in the States, like, I mean, I've been seeing what Prestige have been doing, and they seem to be growing. So I'm glad that I'm getting an opportunity there. Somewhere outside of the States that I've never done, which I'd love the chance to go there, would be AAA.
Mm-hmm.
So I've worked for the Crash and I've worked for CMLL, and I'd love to go back to CMLL. That was a really cool experience. But yeah, I've never worked with AAA. And just when I worked with Vikingo, I was like, I think I'd like to experience, you know, AAA, what this is all about, you know, because I just feel it would be interesting. I don't go out there and I don't do all the crazy lucha-esque stuff that those dudes can do.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we sort of sprinkle a bit of me in there with all that stuff? You know, I think it would be, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be really cool to do something there, man.
Yeah, I agree. Tell me about CMLL. Tell me how that was, how that experience was.
Dude, it was awesome. Like, I felt like a legit, I felt like an actual, like, celebrity there because wrestling is so respected. So we went out there and we did this match, and then that was the first time where I'd experienced people throwing the money in as well. Obviously, as a sign of respect, like, oh, yeah, that was a sweet match. So, like, yeah, the match is done, and I'm feeling like these things hit me. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? And then I look and there's coins on the ground. People throwing coins and stuff in. So, yeah, that was cool. But then, like, as soon as you walk through the curtain when you're done,
mm-hmm.
you're grabbed by, like, media people. Usually I'll wait at the curtain and, you know, wait for my opponent or whatever and, you know, have a chat with them, you know. But the media people just grab you, and then there's all these cameras and microphones, and they're, like, interviewing you. Like, you know, I felt like I was getting harassed by, like, paparazzi and stuff. Like, it was sick. So then they're asking all this stuff in Spanish. And thankfully I was there in a tag match, and my tag partner knew Spanish. So they're throwing all this stuff at him, and they asked me something, and I'm like, what did they say? And then thankfully he was like, oh, they said, you know, how'd you feel about being in CMLL World? So yeah, that was cool. And then, but after you walk out of the venue, the backstage area,
mm-hmm.
it was like a big gate sort of thing. And then you walk into the car park, and we make our way to the tour bus thingy. And like, dude, as soon as these doors opened, there was fans everywhere. And I couldn't believe it. Oh, Brooksy, photo. And I'm just like, I've never experienced anything like that. Like, it took us about half an hour just to get to the bus because people are like, oh, photo, you know, like. So that was cool. Like, just the amount of respect that they show, like, the wrestlers. I really enjoyed that. And then just, like, getting to work in Arena Mexico, you know, like, I think there was it looked about half full. So I think it was about 8,000 or so people there. You know, it was the biggest crowd I've ever worked in front of.
Really?
Big fancy entranceway, you know, like, yeah, that was sick. It was a really cool experience, you know.
That's awesome. So, another question I wanted to ask you was, you've wrestled so many matches. And I know you probably enjoy regular singles matches. That's just how it is. But if you could do anything different, because we just talked about the three stages of hell, you know what I mean? If you could do anything different, what would you want to do in the indies? Because apparently there are still cages in the indies. There are Hell in the Cell in the indies. There's a lot of things in the indies, or even in like AAA, CMLL, Impact, AW. What kind of match would you like to have?
There's one match that I really, really, really one day want to have.
Brooks. The bras and panties matches are over. You can't have those again, man.
No. I'll get if I do one of them, I might get cancelled or something. You might be able to find that on my OnlyFans or something one day, but no. Yeah, there's one match that I want to do, and like I always pitch it to people in Australia, just I don't know, take the piss, hoping that they'd be like, oh yeah, no, we'll do it. Dude, I really want to do an Ultimate X match.
Which one?
Ultimate X.
Ultimate X. Yeah, that's a hard. Yeah, that one everyone wants to do. You know what I mean? Like I think Impact did it after decades. They did one, and they included the women and the men. I remember they did that. Yeah, Ultimate X is something interesting. You know,
like the only match that I've sort of never done that interests me. You know, like I've done the ladder matches and tables and all that stuff. You know, and the Ultimate X matches, I just think it'd be fun and it would be interesting to sort of put together, you know?
So you want the actual, like, 6 people Ultimate X. You don't care if it's, like, a one-on-one. I mean, you want it the way it is, right? The actual, like, 6 competitors have to climb and grab the briefcase or grab whatever it is that's going to be up on there.
It can be singles. It can be 6-man scrambly type stuff. I don't care, man. Just I want to be able to jump up and try climb the gimmick. You know? That's all I want to do.
That's a cool one. Which makes it really cool. You know, that's something that Impact Wrestling does, and I think it'd be great for Impact Wrestling as well. They got guys, you know, like Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel. Those are guys that you can get in the ring with, and those are 5-star matches right there. Sammy Callahan, like you mentioned. So it is interesting. You know, there's so many things. Also, I believe you wrestle there. I could be wrong. FSW, Future Stars of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a company that, you know, I would like to see you there again. That's one of those companies that bring in, like, all the best wrestlers, put them in there, and they get scouted by Impact all the time. So that's something I'd love to see you there again. When you were there, who would you have a match with? What kind of match was it?
So I've been there a few times. Yeah. I believe I wrestled Chris Bay there once.
Okay, see, that's literally one of Impact's biggest stars right now.
Yeah. He's a good brother. And then the other few times there, I think I did like a 4-way, then I did like a 6-way scramble thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, again, companies like that, we would want to see you come back in. FSW, you know, West Coast Pro, where you were at before. Those are all at Defy. You were at Defy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. See, I get confused I guess I get Prestige and Defy always confuse me. They're all very, very similar. So
yeah.
That one happens a lot. But yeah, so there's so much for you to do in 2023. So many new opponents to face. You know, with there only being 5 minutes left on the timer, what do you want to send out to the fans, to promoters, to anybody, to 2023? What are some goals that you have and you want to, like, bring it out to the universe so someone will see this and make comments?
I just want to be everywhere. You know, this very well could be the last time that I am in the States. So I really just want to make an impact here. You know, maybe get back what I lost before the pandemic, you know, like sign a contract or something, you know, just yeah, man, just find somewhere that I can be happy and just keep getting better. And I just want to be everywhere, man. You know, the busier I am, the better. You know, the more new people that I get to work with, the better. You know, all experience levels. I think, you know, I wrestled someone a couple of weeks ago. They've been doing this for like, I don't know, 14 years or something. It's sort of similar to me. I'm almost at 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a few weeks, I get to work with a kid that's barely been doing it for a year. You know, like, it helps me grow. It helps them grow. You know, but yeah, just anyone that might be listening, I just want to be everywhere. And yeah, I think I've been killing it everywhere that I've been going. So I just got to keep trying to kill it and turn some heads, and hopefully, you know, certain higher up people are watching and taking notice, you know?
Yeah, Brooks, I will say this. Whenever the time comes they get signed, your video package, how they always do like a video package, will be one of the most emotional and actual, like, realistic ones. You know what I mean? Because it is one of those things where it's like opportunity of a lifetime, pandemic, lost it all, works all the way to the top to get it all back. That's what it is, and that's what all the promoters of any company should want to look at. The true underdog story.
Yeah, and like, dude, I've jumped through like so many like hoops and stuff to be here, you know, in regards to work visas and stuff. You know, like, you get signed and then, you know, ROH get you a work visa and you're like, hell yeah, finally, you know. And then obviously that whole situation goes down and I'm sort of thinking, all right, well, that's it. But then I was like, nah, we got to try to get this visa situation sorted. So then I spend months trying to get it transferred to a new sponsor, and, you know, it pays off. So, you know, I'm here, I got the papers, I'm allowed to do stuff on TV. So let's see what happens, man. Let's get me on TV and just see what happens.
Well, let's do it. Brooks, how can people follow you, support you, buy your merch? Where's the Cameo? Where's the OnlyFans? Give it all up.
No OnlyFans.
Not yet.
Dude, you're the second person that's told me I should jump on the OnlyFans. I had a radio host back home. He does like the biggest breakfast radio show in Melbourne, and he even said, "Oh, you should jump on the OnlyFans."
Smart man, make the money.
But yeah, dude. My Twitter and my Instagram is the Adam Brooksy. I have pro wrestling tees. If you're from Australia, I have a wrestler merch store. I have a big cartel store. It's all on my Twitter and my Instagram. I got the link tree thingy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrible with social media, but my friend, he hooked me up with this link tree thing, and I'm like, "What's this?" And it's like, "Oh, it's all the links to all of your stuff." So I'm like, "Sweet, thanks." Dude.
All right. But thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. And we'll see Brooks next time very soon, hopefully with a contract in his hand.
Oh, we'll see, man. Thank you for having me, brother. Thank you.